प्रगतिविचार्य स्तोत्रशत श्री श्रीमद शिला भैष्णवृंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज शिला उपाधि की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णवृंद की जय। नामाचार्य हरिदास की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंद all glorious assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glorious assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glorious assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glorious to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glorious to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupada Krishna Krishna Putri Shrimati Radharani Swamiti Namini. Namo Vishnupada Krishna Krishna Putri Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtadhisharine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Nashta Preshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9.
Hare Krishna.
Chapter 15, entitled Parshuram, the Lord's Warrior Incarnation, text 41. Ragyo Murda Bhishiktasya Vado Brahma Vadat Guru Tirtha Samsevaya Chamho Jahyam Gachuta Chetanaha Ragyo Murda Bhishiktasya Vado Brahma Vadat Guru Tirtha Samsevaya Chamho Jahyam Gachuta Chetanaha Ragyo Murda Bhishiktasya Vado Brahma Vadat Guru Tirtha Samsevaya Chamho Jahyam Gachuta Chetanaha
Ragyo Murda Bhishiktasya Vado Brahma Vadat Guru Tirtha Samsevaya Chamho Jayam Gachuta Chetana
Ragyo Murda Bhishiktasya Vado Brahma Vadat Guru Tirtha Samsevaya Chamho Jayam Gachuta Chetana
Ragya Murda Bhishiktasya Vado Brahma Vadat Guru Tirtha Samsevaya Chamho Jahaya Anga Chuta Chetana
Tirtha
Sevaya Chamho Jayanga Achyuta Chetana
Ragyaha of the king. Murda Abhishiktasya, who is noted as an emperor. Vadaha, the killing. Brahma, Vadhat, the killing of a Brahmana. Guru, more severe. Tirtha, Samsivaya, by worshipping the holy places. Cha, also. Amha, the sinful act. Jahi, wash out. Anga, oh my dear son. Achyuta, Chaitanaha, being fully Krishna conscious. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear son, killing a king who is an emperor is more severely sinful than killing a Brahmana. But now, if you become Krishna conscious and worship the holy places, you can atone for this great sin. Purport. One who fully surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is freed from all sins. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. From the very day or moment he fully surrenders to Sri Krishna, even the most sinful person is freed. Nonetheless, as an example, Jamadagni advised his son Parashuram to worship the holy places. Because an ordinary person cannot immediately surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is advised to go from one holy place to another to find saintly persons and thus gradually be released from sinful reactions. The translation of the verse again. My dear son, killing a king who is an emperor is more severely sinful than killing a Brahmana. But now, if you become Krishna conscious and worship the holy places, you can atone for this great sin. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Viduta Shri Vishakamitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudri Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Gahivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhaktalinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We continue our discussion on how Lord Parashuram killed Kartaviri Arjuna, who was not only the king but the emperor of the whole earth. And we mentioned yesterday how Kirtabirya Arjuna was extremely powerful personality. He humiliated even Ravana and caught him like a monkey, it is said, and then contemptuously released him. So, and he killed all his army single-handedly, Parashuram, and also beheaded Kartavirya Arjuna. And when he came home, we can see that his father was not very satisfied with this act, and he reproached his son that killing a king is more severely sinful than killing a Brahmana. And we have a similar example from the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Do you remember which yes, in some sense. What do you want?
Shringi.
Yes, Shringi. Shringi he cursed Parikshit to be killed in 7 days. And when his father realized what his son had done, he was terrified actually. That the king is representative of all demigods, and not just all demigods. He's representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. But we are, of course, reject the action of Shringi, but we glorify the actions of Lord Parshuram. It's interesting, isn't it? But it's significant because Shringi was performing his act of cursing the saintly king Parikshit from false ego, because his honor was hurt, and because, as we know, Parikshit Maharaj threw that snake around the neck of Samik Rishi, the father of Shringi, and Shringi was extremely offended by this act. And Parikshit immediately repent because of his act. And he was actually praying for some punishment, that he would atone for this sinful act. On the other hand, here we can see that Kartavirya Arjuna was not repentant because he stole the Kamadhenu from a Brahmana. And this is much more severe act than throwing a dead snake around the neck. to steal a cow from a Brahmana. We know from the 10th canto how destructive is to take anything from the Brahmana. In the story of Nriga, yes, Nriga, Maharaj Nriga, he fell into most abominable species of life. He became a lizard because unknowingly he stole a cow from a Brahmana and gave it in charity to another Brahmana. But still, he was severely punished. And he wanted to atone for this act and asked these two Brahmanas to give this cow to him, and for exchange for thousands of best cows to each. But they didn't want to. They were fighting whose cow is this. They didn't want to exchange this cow for thousands of new cows. Yes. And so King Nriga had to become a lizard in his next life. But he met Lord Krishna, so he was blessed in some way or another. But Kartavira Arjun, he didn't repent that he stole a cow from a brahmana, and he fought against Lord Parashuram and wanted to kill him also. Yeah. He used 500 bows simultaneously because he had 1,000 arms to kill Parashuram, but he was unsuccessful. Yes. But nevertheless, here the father, Jamadagni, was not satisfied by killing a king. And we know that Kartavira Arjun was not ordinary emperor also. He comes in the line of Yayati, and in the line of these saintly kings. So he was also a special soul. So here it is interesting that he prescribed an atonement for killing a king, an emperor, to go in Krishna consciousness to different holy places and worship them. Yes. And Prabhupada mentions here that because an ordinary person cannot immediately surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is advised to go from one holy place to another to find saintly persons and thus gradually be released from sinful directions. So, the real atonement is to surrender completely to the Supreme Lord. There is no other atonement actually. And Krishna also explains in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Devi Kesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Puratya Mam Eva Eva Padanti Mam Etam Taranti. Only if you surrender to me, you can go beyond this Maya. There is no other way. Mam Eva, certainly, to me only. So if one tries to find a solution to be released from suffering or from sinful reactions, as we can see here, it's not possible if you don't surrender completely to the Supreme Lord. No atonement will suffice, actually. Yes. Only because people are not able to surrender, they are advised to go from one holy place to another. And not just to bathe there and to I don't know what is the system in Slovenia. If you on the top of the mountains there is a stamp, rubber stamp. You can have a notebook and stamp that you prove that you have climbed this particular mountain. So it's no use to rubber stamp your notebook that you have visited these holy places or to bathe there. Yes. Actually, Krishna himself warns us from this mentality. Yasyatma buddhi kunapeti dhatiki sadhika litaradishu bhoma ichati yatirtha buddhi salitena karkichit janeshu abhigeshu saeva gokana. He explains in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam how to visit the holy places or to even worship the deities with materialistic idea is cow and ass mentality. Yes. Or to think that I'm coming from this particular land, that I'm French, that I'm Slovenian, that I'm Indian, I'm this, I'm that. I'm a Brahmana, or Vaishya, or Shudra, or I'm Hare Krishna, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I'm this and that. This is all Eva Gokara, the mentality of cow or an ass. Yes. So it's no use of keeping these mentalities or keeping these identities. One should completely surrender to the Lord and keep the only identity we have. And this is to be a servant. So this mentality of being a servant needs to be practiced, because from time immemorial we are in this world because we don't want to serve. We want to be the master. When one friend of mine engaged with some girl, he's a devotee and she is also a devotee. One senior devotee told them very interesting thing. He said to them that two masters never go along together, but two servants can. So, therefore, we can see that there is so much fighting going on, even between husbands and wives, and children and parents, and students and teachers, and so on every level of existence there is some fight, because everyone wants to be a master, no one wants to be a servant. But when we understand the spiritual principle, we should also understand this, that my only identification is being a servant and nothing else whatsoever. Yes. So being a servant is, we have to practice this because we are not accustomed to it, to this idea. Although we are always a servant, we cannot live without servitorship, because this is our eternal nature. We cannot deny our eternal nature, even if we are conditioned. We are still servants, 24 hours a day. But because we don't understand it, we have to practice our consciousness that we are a servant. So, therefore, surrender to spiritual master is crucial step in one's spiritual life. When one surrenders to spiritual master, then he realizes, I'm not a servant, I'm not a master, I'm a servant of a master. So I accept someone else as the master. And if my act of accepting spiritual master is not sincere, it's very dangerous actually. Because if I accept a spiritual master because it's because of some social pressure, or because it's fanciful to have a guru, or anything like this, the time will come that we'll start to criticize our guru. Yes. And if we criticize a bona fide guru, we are doomed. Yes. And we'll start to hate our guru. Because this tendency to criticize is there because we want to be a master, and we want to prove, not just to others, but to ourselves also, that this particular person is not worthy of my worship, is not worthy of my service. So, therefore, Lord Chaitanya stresses so much this first Trinada Pisunichana, and it is explained that we should thread this verse on the thread of the holy name and wear it around our neck for constant remembrance. So we should constantly remind ourselves we are just the servant. We are just the servant and nothing else. So when we are ordered to do some service, we should not reject it, especially if you are ordered by our spiritual master. Yes, then we should accept it wholeheartedly. And if we are not able to surrender completely, then we should seek the association of great personalities. And here it is also explained by Prabhupada like this. If one is not able to completely surrender to Krishna immediately, one is advised to go to holy places, but not just, as we said, to bathe there, but to meet saintly persons. Yes. And then gradually be released from sinful reactions. And sinful mentality is that I'm independent. This is sinful mentality. Because it's actually craziness. As the Tashta Shakti, we are never independent. We are always dependent on some superior Shakti, either Krishna's internal energy or Krishna's external energy. We cannot be independent, not even for a moment. No. So thinking that we are independent, it's craziness. Yes. It's complete illusion. Therefore, we should practice being dependent on the instruction of superior personality. Yes. So this obedience is completely necessary in spiritual life. This is repulsive word. No one likes it. Yes, to be obedient. Once I heard a lecture from my spiritual master. Before he joined the Krishna consciousness movement, he was already a spiritual seeker, and he somehow or other he came to Vrindavan, and he met a really special personality. His name was Ganashyam. And this Ganashyam, he came to Vrindavan as a teenager with his parents on a pilgrimage. Like here is his advice to go to the pilgrimage. But he was from wealthy family. But when the parents with the family wanted to return home, he didn't want to go home from Vrindavan. And the parents were so angry with his decision that he will remain in Vrindavan. He was 18 years old or something. That they disowned him. Yes. So he remained in Vrindavan completely without any means for living. And he begged some chapatis or rotis here and there. But he worshipped the holy name. He wrote the name of Radha, I believe, Radha and Krishna, in the sand. And he worshipped the whole day long this holy name written in the sand in the bank of Yamuna river. And in the evening he erased this holy name because he was afraid that someone in the dark will step on it. And in the morning he again wrote it with his finger and worshipped it the whole day again. Very special soul. And one day, when he was wiping out, or he was writing, I can't remember now, this holy name, he felt something hard beneath the surface of the sand. And he dug a little bit, and he saw a finger. Actually, it was the top of the head of some deity. He dug up this deity, and there was a deity of Radha Gopijana Vallabha. Yes. Self-manifested deities for him personally. And he worshipped this Radha Gopijana Vallabha under a tree every day, very, very lovingly. And then one family took pity on him and let him have this Radha Gopijana Vallabha in the closet of their hallway of their house. So he lived there all his life, from his teenage till death, and he died in the late 90s, his late 90s. So for all his life he lived in this corridor and worshipped Radha Gopijana Vallabha in the closet. Yes. And my Guru Maharaj, when he was in his very young age, met this personality, and he helped him in worshipping Radha Gopijana Vallabha. But this Ghanashyam Prabhu didn't want my Guru Maharaj to serve, because he considered him as a special guest of Radha Gopijana Vallabha, and he served him with all his means. Yes. And he repeatedly said to him, "I'm your obedient, I'm your obedient." And then this became a joke between my Guru Maharaj and Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. So whenever they met each other, they said to each other, "I'm your obedient." I'm your obedient. Yes. And he really served day and night these deities, so much so that he couldn't go out for Madhukari. And he didn't visit any of the holy places in Vrindavan because he didn't have time, because he served Radha Gopijana Vallabha. And one time he was carrying water from Yamuna for the deities, and because he was very old, he couldn't carry it for a very long time, so he went for a step or two and he put down the bucket and took rest for some time, and then continued his walking with the bucket. And my Guru Maharaj saw this, and he wanted to carry this bucket for him, and he didn't let this bucket. He said, "Don't take this bucket. You're a special guest of Radha Gopijana Vallabha. You should enjoy. I'm just a servant. Please let me serve." And then my Guru Maharaj was very adamant that I will take this bucket and help you. And then he started, this Ghanashyam started to cry and said, "This is my only life, this service to Radha Gopijana Vallabha. Please don't take it away from me. Please don't take it away." So this should be our goal, to have such service mentality. Yes. And he also gave all his rotis to my Guru Maharaj. And then, but my Guru Maharaj didn't know, because he only gave him one roti a day. So he thought nothing special, so he gave me roti. And then some sadhus became very angry at my Guru Maharaj. And they said, "You know that Ghanashyam Prabhu, he doesn't eat for the whole week because you eat all his rotis." And he was shocked. How is this possible? And then next day, he purposely went to Ghanashyam's place. First he went on the ordinary time, and Ghanashyam again gave him a roti. And he protested, "No, this is your roti. You don't have anything else to eat." And he protested, "No, this is not true. I have so much to eat." And he wanted to show him food, but he said, "No need, no need." Yes. Please accept this. And he forced him practically to accept this roti again. And then the next day, he came to visit Ganashyam few hours later than usually, that he could already eat this roti. But when he came, Ganashyam Prabhu said to him, "Oh, you're late today. Radha Gopijana Vallabha saved this roti for you." Hare Krishna. So, this is service mentality. Of course, one cannot be so extremely advanced at the beginning as this Ganashyam Baba was, but we should strive for this example, which is just a servant, to serve everyone, and see everyone as special guest of Radha Parisishvara, for example. Yeah. This special guest, and I'm just a servant and entitled to serve these special guests of Radha Parisishvara. Anyone who comes here is a special guest, yes, of Radha Parisishvara. So we should try to accept this service mentality in whatever way possible, and practice humility, not protest if we are even abused. Yes. If other devotees are abused, we should protest, of course. But if we are abused, we shouldn't protest. We should accept it as Krishna's mercy. Yes. That Krishna is teaching us a lesson, that I should become a humble servant. And since I want to be an arrogant master, Krishna is teaching me humility. So it's for my benefit. If I accept this kind of mentality, I'm safe. Otherwise, if I want to fight for my right, I can win, but I will lose my consciousness, my opportunity to become a humble servant. And this is the greatest loss, actually, if we lose this opportunity to acquire this consciousness of being a humble servant. So, as long as one is not able to completely surrender and to become a humble servant, one is advised to seek the association of great personalities. Because great personalities are those who have such consciousness. And by such examples, like we mentioned this Ganashyam Baba, we acquire deep desire to be like that ourselves also. So seek the association of great personalities, and don't associate with mixed devotees. This is instruction. Yes, because if we associate with mixed devotees, we'll accept material desires as something acceptable in spiritual life. Yes, because one can know one, but by association that he keeps. Yes. So we should keep the most saintly association possible, and be saintly association ourselves also. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment? Yes, please.
Just like you mentioned that one should be humble, but what is humility? Like what is humility really?
what is humility? As this is a crucial question. Humility is to understand that I'm a servant. This is humility. And I serve my masters. Actually, just to bow our head is not necessarily humility. Especially if we act in a humble way to demoniac personalities. We should not follow demonic personalities just because we want to be humble. We should follow saintly personalities in this humble attitude. So humility is to surrender to saintly authority. Yes, and act under his guidance.
But at times, like when you surrender, so you, like for me at least now, I start comparing that I'm doing this much, I'm doing more. Then pride also comes. So
Yes, it's true. And this is the trick of Maya. This pride is the trick of Maya. And if we don't curb it consciously, we'll be taught by Krishna in some way that we'll not like very much. So, especially if we are sincere, if we really want to be a devotee, then Krishna will take special care of us and he will teach us a lesson. But if we are not consciously trying to become humble, Krishna will teach us in some hard way. Yes.
so for being humble, we have to follow saintly devotees.
Yeah, saintly devotees, but with the mentality not that I'm a great devotee, but with the mentality that I'm just a servant, and I'm extremely fortunate that I have an opportunity to render service. Yes, because it's true. Actually, it's not just a mental adjustment. We are most fortunate personalities in the universe because we can serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself in most intimate form of Radha Parisishvara. Yes, they are most intimate personalities, form of Lord, and we have the opportunity to serve them and their devotees. So we should understand that we are just a servant of these great personalities, and consciously train our consciousness, because we should understand that this is a training, Hare Krishna. This is a training. This is like a military drill, actually, because from time immemorial we are accustomed to fight for our supremacy, for our living space. Yes, every living entity is fighting for its living space. So therefore, Trinadapi Sunichana, we should be more humble than a blade of grass, because a blade of grass is also fighting for its living space. But we shouldn't fight for this living space in the material world. But we should try to live in the spiritual world, even now. We should live in the spiritual world now, not tomorrow, not at the time of death, but immediately, now. Because if you fight for living space in the material world, we will have a